All right, here we are. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Get your coffee. It's a beautiful day. The sun was shining bright. I had to position it just right. And welcome to another episode of the Daily Dose. Getting close to a year. Listen, I don't know about you. I don't know where you're at with your weight loss, but if you're battling it, I got a blueprint for you. And I think this will be really, really helpful, especially if you said to yourself in the beginning of the year, maybe towards the end of 2020, that might have been a complete train wreck. And if it was, that's okay. For a lot of people, it was a train wreck. But the good news is that train is gone. It's behind you. But you know what else is behind you? 2 months are down. It's hard to believe this is the last day of February. The last day of February. And if you're still battling, maybe you've even just put up the white flag and said, forget it, Mark. I gave up. I'm just giving up. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what I should be doing. There's so much information. There's so much confusion. I don't know what kind of workouts I should be doing. I don't know. I have an injury here in my shoulder and my knee. Should I join a gym? What kind of gym? Should I use a trainer? What kind of diet? I see people losing weight on this and I see people doing that. But then, Mark, I see people putting that weight back on. Should I do this? Should I do that? There's so much confusion. Well, the good news is, even if 2 months are already gone, even if the first 8 weeks of 2021 are already behind you and in the past, the good news is we still have 10 months left. The good news is you woke up today. God gave you another day, another breath, another heartbeat for you to actually do something different if maybe you're still in the battle or maybe you haven't even gotten in the fight yet, right? So before we get started, before I share with you the blueprint, because I truly have a blueprint in this, if you can get this, if you can pull this together for, even if you haven't in the last 2 months, shoot, it might have been the last 2 years. It may have even been the last 20 years. I've talked to people that have been fighting this battle of weight loss for over 20, 30 years. And there truly is a blueprint. I'm going to share that with you in a moment. But first, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about breakfast. Let's talk about brunch. I was thinking about brunch, and I typically have like a breakfast and I sleep in. For me today, it was like 6:30, and I slept in a little bit late. That's sleeping in for me. I'm an early person, but we go to bed early as well. So, but Sundays, it's nice to sleep in and birds are chirping. Actually, I was doing a little bit of quiet time this morning and came out here and the birds they're not that loud. I might have scared them away. You scared them away. But then I was thinking about like breakfast, and we typically will have like maybe around church. We watch church online at about 9:30, and then we'll make something. So what is your favorite? I would love to know. Let's just keep this light because I know the weight loss battle is not a light subject. And you're like, Mark, why are you talking about food? Well, I want to know what's your favorite brunch food? So like brunch, like a little different than breakfast, right? You might have a little something delicious for, sometimes, we don't cook bacon during the weekends, but that's probably my wife doesn't eat bacon, but my kids and we like bacon. So there's nothing like the smell of bacon, crispy bacon, for breakfast on Sunday morning. We may even made like waffles and pancakes, and there's like Kodiak ones that are protein filled, so we have that. And sometimes we'll splurge and have a little of that, some fresh fruit on there, and a little bit of syrup. I don't know, my son had this like sugar-free syrup that he was using, and I don't really use too much syrup, a little bit maybe if we do that, but it's like on occasion. But yeah, what do you have? What's your favorite brunch? Good morning to you. Good morning. When you come on, let me know you're here. Good morning, Mary Ann. Good to see you. Marcy, thanks for jumping in here. Really appreciate you for listening, and any of you else that are on here. I want to know first, before we get into the blueprint so you can win this weight loss battle. Like, I want you to win. You have the ability to win, and I'm going to share with you what that is in just a moment. But I want to know the brunch. I want to know your favorite brunch food. Do you like Eggs Benedict? That seems like a good brunch food. Maybe you do something with waffles, maybe. Omelets. I like omelets too, right? Yeah, omelets are great. You can make your own omelets, and I like a Western omelet, has veggies in there, or like a Mexican omelet, I think. Or I think that's with peppers and onions and things like that. Good morning to you. Good morning, Marcy. Hey, so let's jump right in. I know you're thinking now I made you hungry, and now like, how am I going to win the weight loss battle? And you're talking about bacon, right? Because I'm here to tell you that when you have your own blueprint, for weight loss, for winning the weight loss battle, you actually can enjoy food. You can learn how to. Now, maybe you enjoy food for the time you eat it and you maybe smell that bacon and you taste it, but then the rest of the time you feel guilty about it. You feel bad about yourself. You feel disappointed that you let yourself down. You let your diet down. You let your body down. You let other people down. Like, you feel terrible and you think, oh, well, bacon's bad for you, Mark. And then when you start to think that bacon is bad for you, guess what? When you go and eat bacon, then you say, well, bacon's bad, so I must be bad. And I'm just here to tell you that that's not the way to look at food. It's a very hard thing for people to get through. It may be something that you have a lot of emotional scarring and baggage from your relationship with food, and it's something that may need to change, right? If you have it's kind of like any relationship, right? If you're in a bad relationship with somebody, a poor relationship, guess what? Like, it doesn't make you feel very good, right? You might need to end that relationship, right? And I'm not telling you, like, if you have a bad marriage, I'm not giving you marriage advice here. I'm just saying in general, right? If you have a friend who's maybe not a really good friend, guess what? Maybe they're not good enough to be your friends right now. Maybe it's time to say no to them. It's kind of the same when it comes to the emotional attachment to food. So just know that food is food. Like, that's it. So you want to know the blueprint. That's why you came on here. You want to know the blueprint. So one of the things, it was a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to our church service on Sunday, and it made me think of wanting to share this with you. And here's what it comes down to. Your blueprint, I already kind of teased you a little bit. Your blueprint, good morning to you. Good morning. Let's see who else. Sharon, good morning. Love bacon, eggs, toast. Can't eat eggs anymore. Eating red meat at this point. Want to check out. Yeah. Don't eat breakfast at all. You know what? You're not alone, April. I know a lot of people. It's interesting. A lot of people tell me, Mark, I'm doing intermittent fasting, and it's not really working, Mark. I don't eat breakfast. There's two things I'm just going to, before I jump in with about intermittent fasting or not eating breakfast, and it's not to point you out, April, just a lot of things I hear from people. Why am I not losing weight? I'm like, not eating breakfast. I only eat 2 meals, and then I find out what they're eating in those 2 meals, and it's usually a train wreck. It's a train wreck, and that's not intermittent fasting. Just because you choose not to say eat at dinner or after a certain time and you eat in the morning, but the rest of it, your lunch and dinner is terrible, that's not intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting does include actually eating fairly healthy. So anyway, that's just, I guess I'm digressing here a little bit, but let's jump in because you want the blueprint. But what I heard was really a powerful message. This was back on February 14th, actually. It was back 2 weeks ago, Valentine's Day. And first off, you have to know that, think about a blueprint. Let's think about that. I want you let's break this down, deconstruct it. Think about your blueprint. See, like, that's my blueprint. I don't know if you can see my thumbprint. I don't know if you can see it. But like, that's my thumbprint. That's my blueprint, right? Like your blueprint. You think of like when you blueprint, you put down, I don't know if you've ever been booked. Don't tell me that you've been arrested, but you've ever done like your blueprint, like you've actually put your thumbprint and you've had that, they put it down and you press it. Guess what? Your blueprint is your blueprint. It truly is your blueprint. And this is what that means, is your belief. Think about this for a moment. Your belief, here it is, catch this, don't miss this. Your belief is your blueprint. Let me just say that again. Your belief is that blueprint, your belief. And now, here's the problem. We look at what other people are doing. We look at what everybody else has, what everybody else is doing, what everybody else is believing. And we try to take on other people's blueprints. And the reality is your blueprint is your blueprint. See, transformation happens. Now, the problem with when it comes to weight loss, we look at what everybody else, don't get me wrong, I have people look at the success from my students that I have all the time. I'm posting success stories and before and afters and videos and interviews, and it's awesome. But guess what? Their testimony, their transformation, their before and after is their blueprint, right? It's not your blueprint. Mark, how come I'm doing what that person's doing? But here's the thing, your blueprint is your blueprint. Can I get that? Can you get, like, are you kind of, is this resonating? I hope if you go through today and you're thinking, Mark said my blueprint is my blueprint, which means you got to focus on what you do. Focus on what you're doing. And guess what? Your belief, what you believe now is your blueprint. In other words, if you believe that you're not able to lose weight, if you believe that say bacon is bad and you're bad and you make all these mistakes, and you take on that emotionalness, that you take on those emotions of feeling bad or being bad or feeling guilty. It's Sunday morning, right? Feeling guilty. I know a lot of people, when it comes to church, they've done a lot of, say, things that they shouldn't be doing. They feel bad about going to church. Like, unfortunately, church has left a bit of a stigma with that. And we're not here to get into the church thing. It is just happens to be Sunday. But that's not what it's meant to be about. In fact, it's kind of like, you think about church and it's like, okay, accepting, when you say, if you are a believer, if you are a Christian, a man or woman of faith, and you believe in Jesus, that was the easy part. Accepting Jesus was the easy part, right? Like I say, it was the easy part. Accepting yourself was that's something that takes a lifetime, right? So the hard thing with a lot of people when it comes to weight loss is accepting, because you've believed up to this point that food was bad, or that workout is too hard, or you're not good enough, or you're not skinny enough, right? You've believed that to a certain point. But the difference is, if you believe that in the past, just like the last 2 months and just like the last 2 years in 2020, put that good riddance behind you, and maybe the last 20 years, you may be carrying around the blueprint that you've been using. It's been really not serving you well. It's maybe been failing you for the last 2 years, for the last 20, 30 years, right? And maybe it's time for a new blueprint. And I would say it's still your blueprint. But here's the thing, when you realize that this is going to take time, your blueprint stays with you the rest of your life. So here's the problem with that, is we take on some of the past, our past history, the stuff, the junk, the emotionalist. Maybe we've yo-yo roller coastered up and down this weight loss journey, right? This weight loss battle. And we've essentially put this blueprint, so to speak, and this blueprint of not being good enough, of being told that we're fat, of being told that we're not worthy enough, being told that we're not good enough. I guess it's the same, being told that we're not pretty enough, being told that we're not able to do fun things and be active, and to just be stuck. And then you get stuck in that belief, and then that belief becomes your blueprint, and then that blueprint makes it the blueprint that you maybe have imprinted on yourself and your life, has made it hard for you to lose weight. Like the reality is, the blueprint to winning your weight loss battle, guess what? The blueprint, two things, it's your blueprint, but you have the power to change that blueprint. In other words, if you've been losing this weight loss battle for 2 months, 2 weeks, probably more than 2 weeks, if you have any bit of weight right? Maybe, I don't think, unless the holidays come around and maybe 10 pounds came on. But let's just say in general, for the most part, 90% of the people that I work with that are in their 40s and 50s and 60s, typically in their 50s, in that range, is that they've been battling this for a long time. We're talking years. For the most part, I've actually did some research just on the people I've spoke to, and it's an average of about 10 to 15 years. So again, that becomes a blueprint. It becomes not just a battle, you just become stuck. But here's the thing, and then the belief it sets into your mindset, and then you just don't think you can do it. And I have a lot of people who are reluctant to maybe even try working with me or try coaching because they don't believe in themselves that they can change the blueprint. Now, here's my second part to this is important. And if you're watching, hey, thank you for coming on here. Rita, thank you for coming on here. Marcy, and appreciate you for watching and for coming on. Hey, thank you, April. Appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And if you find this valuable, I want you to share this. Here's the other thing you need to know about the blueprint to winning this weight loss battle, right? You want to win. I want to know. This is what I want to know. Okay, this is what I want to know. Look, we're all friends here, right? Okay, and I'm not asking you to tell me how long you've been battling. I just want to know, if you're maybe been stuck, even if it's just a couple of pounds, right? Or even 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 more pounds. Are you ready to win this battle? Like, here's my question to you. 2021 is here. February is gone. 2 months of the year is gone. My question to you is, I want to see this light up. Please flood this up so I know that I'm speaking to somebody who needs to hear this. Again, this is not calling you out. I want to know That are you ready to win? I ask, how many fire emojis? If every fire emoji represents 10 pounds, how many do you need to get to your goal weight? I see the fire things lit up, which means I know there's people watching here that need to lose weight. Are you ready to win this battle? Are you ready, truly? Are you ready to have the kind of blueprint that your life was meant to have? Like, are you ready? I want to see that light up right now. I want to see fire emojis down in the comments below if you're ready, if you're tired, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're ready to stop thinking of food as being good or bad and just allowing yourself to live and enjoy life. The hard thing is it's hard to enjoy life. It's hard to live. It's hard to enjoy something like bacon, or food that might be delicious when you have a poor relationship with food, right? If you're ready to win that, I want to see you light up the comments. I want to see you drop some fire emojis down below that it's time. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. It's time. Drop the fire emojis there. Can you imagine if you've been struggling for any period of time? Can you imagine if you were able to have the blueprint to truly live the kind of life that you maybe envisioned for yourself? Did you envision 30 pounds of weight be on your body? No. I don't think anybody envisions themselves being overweight their entire life and having issues and limitations and challenges and struggles and having maybe being anxious and depressed and stressed out and fearful, right? All of those emotions and negative emotions that come on with being overweight, right? I get that. But here's the deal. You have your own blueprint. Here's the thing I want you to know. It's your blueprint. It's not your spouse's blueprint. It's not your friends who expecting you to be, excuse the language, but I'm going to just say it, that are just expecting you to be fat the rest of your life again, right? That's not the way you were meant to live. Now, again, God loves you no matter what size you are, obviously, right? He loves you no matter what. He's already done it on the cross, right? It's already done. What's done is done. But here's the thing. The easy part is accepting. Like, you can accept that. The hard thing is accepting yourself. That takes a lifetime. But if you spend a good amount of your life not accepting yourself, if you spent a lot of your life not thinking you were good enough, not thinking that you're ever going to be healthy ever again, maybe it started from an early childhood. Maybe you have some emotional scarring from back there. And I'm not the therapist in a sense, but I hope I'm giving some light to you as far as you have the ability to change your blueprint, but it's your blueprint. It isn't somebody else's. You have to do this for you. You have to want to do it. The hardest thing about losing weight, this is the hardest thing. Now, yes, can you do pills and potions and you can get it sucked out and you can get the bands and, the lap bands and the gastric bypass and you can go on the extreme weight loss journey, but you and I both know, you're old enough, you understand, you already know that is not a solution. You already know what is that going to do? That's going to put you in a different blueprint, right? That's going to be that yo-yo pattern blueprint. That's going to get you all frustrated and upset and you're going to lose the weight and you're going to cheer about it and everybody will say it's awesome. And then 6 weeks later, when you go off that diet, the weight comes back on and nobody is cheering you on anymore, right? Nobody's cheering you on. Here's the problem with that. We see what we're seeing. What we don't ever see in people's journeys is the in-between time. See, here's something that, like muscle. Let's just get in here. I'm going to go a little deeper with you. You okay if I go a little deeper? Give me a little thumbs up. I'm going to go a little deeper here. So do you understand like a muscle? Let's talk about the muscle. And there's time under tension in the muscle. So in order to get stronger, you have to put tension on the muscle, right? If you want nice, excuse me, I spit my tongue. Ladies, if you want to see nice tone in your arms, and right, we actually talked about the 7 simple strategies for 7xing your fitness. If you want access to that, go run over and watch it. We did it yesterday, and it was in the Bulletproof Fit Christians Over 40, our free Facebook group. Just look that up. If you want to ask, hey, I'm not in that group, can I get in the group? I would do a live training in there. And yesterday we talked about the 7 simple strategies to 7x your fitness results. So if you want access, go jump in there now. Go get it. It's awesome. We had a great group. We came in there and we talked about strategies, 7 simple. But let's get into the muscle. So muscle now. Think about when you want to get your muscles tighter and toner, more defined, shapely, have that transformation you've been wanting your whole life. You got to put tension on the muscle. You have to actually ask it to work. You got to do the work, whether it's push-ups or squats or lunges, right? Or planks or sit-ups or all that. You got to put some tension on the muscle if you want it to work. But what do we look at? We look at the end result. Like, I don't want to see all the like work you're doing. Show me those muscles. Show me, like, I'm going to share later today. I'm going to share with you my progress pictures. It's actually from 2 weeks ago. I haven't done any new ones. I'm going to do them this week. But I have one because I want to share with you just where I'm at. I wanted to share with you my fitness journey and where I've come from. But in order for me to, you're going to say, oh, that's good. You see people's before and afters. Oh, that's great. You look so good. I see you lost the weight. I see you work hard. But what you don't see is that time under tension, right? And maybe your whole life, maybe the last 20 years has been a lot of tension about weight loss, about battling it and struggling it. And maybe you're still the same weight you were, and you're maybe still disgusted and don't like the way you look in the mirror, and you can't bear to put on the clothes that you really want to wear because you know they don't fit. You're trying to put them on, and that's a whole nother discussion. But let's go back to this time under tension. So if you think of what you see, the end results, right? You see the end results. What you don't see is the time under tension. You don't see all the work that's being put in before you see the end result. And here's the thing. We all look at, we're all look at the time lapse, right? We all look at what happened before and what happened after, but you don't look at all the hard work that goes in. The problem is most people don't see the after, the results from their weight loss, because the time under tension, what they're doing is all wrong. What they're doing is crazy quick fixes and crazy extreme diets and limiting, they're restricting calories. And you and I both know when you restrict yourself of foods and calories and carbohydrates and things, guess what? You want it even more. That's what makes it even harder, right? Then you do these crazy boot camps and workouts that are like killing you, hurting you, injuring you even, and you're not getting anywhere. That time under tension is not very favorable. It's not really serving you well. And you know why? Because you're not getting results. Or if you do, it's short-term, short-lasting. And guess what? Then you're right back to square one. And then guess what? You go right back on that emotional roller coaster ride of food, right? You go back to that emotional roller coaster realizing that you did it again. You screwed up again. You've failed yourself again. And the good news is if you're watching this, you didn't fail. You just didn't maybe change the blueprint, right? You got to change the blueprint. And here's what I'm going to give you for this take home to go into this new week, this new month. Tomorrow is March 1st, 2021. That's crazy. Tomorrow can be the day that you actually start on a new path, on a new plan. In fact, I'm really excited. We have a number of people who decided to change their blueprint, and they chose to reach out to me. They chose to say, Mark, I want to know how you can help me. And what they did was get on a call to find out if they were a good fit. And after some conversation, there were some that were a good fit and some that were not. But the only way to know how to change the blueprint is to find somebody that actually has done that for other people many times before. I've done it for many people. I don't know if I can do it for you, but if you want to change the blueprint that you're on, if you want the time under tension to actually have the results you want to win this weight loss battle once and for all, right? Two things have to happen. You got to believe your belief. You got to believe your belief is your blueprint. And if you believe in that you suck at weight loss and you're not good enough and you're not strong enough and you're not pretty enough and you just don't know and you're confused and stressed and anxious, maybe it's time to change the direction, the course that you're on. Maybe it's time for you to change the blueprint so that you can truly succeed. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And I hope you're excited. I'm excited. I can't wait. We have a number of people that are starting on a new direction, a new path. And mind you, yes, it's not a New Year's resolution. It's a New Year's solution. It's 2021 solution. Now, if you want a new blueprint, just shoot me a message. Just shoot me the message and the keyword blueprint. Just all you got to do is drop in the comments. Not here if you don't want to. Nobody else needs to know that you're maybe struggling or wanting to get on a new path. Send me a private message. Just hit blueprint. You can send me a private message. You can send me a sentence you want, but all you got to do is send me the code word blueprint. And what we'll do is we'll schedule a call this week. Now, I know maybe you wanted to do this in January or February. In fact, I would even say to keep following me for a little while. Because a lot of times if you've not watched this before, you don't know. How do you know to trust me? Is this guy just trying to scam me or, get me to buy into some potion pill magic formula? No, I have a formula. And it's been after 25 years of being in this industry and helping men and women over 40 like you possibly who have been struggling, who have been on the wrong blueprint for a long, long time. And I've been struggling with their weight loss. I've been battling it, but the weight loss is winning the battle. Do you want to win the battle? If you want to win the battle, send me a private message and we'll get on this. And hey, it's Sunday. It's time to get my worship on. I'm going to go make some breakfast, maybe cook up some bacon and enjoy. And you're saying, how are you doing? Like, I thought we were only supposed to eat like lettuce for breakfast, and we're not allowed to have carbohydrates. How are you saying that? I thought you're not supposed to, I thought that was bad food. No, you see, you can live, you can enjoy food, you can enjoy what bacon was meant to enjoy. Right now, maybe you're not a bacon eater, maybe you like your eggs or your omelets, or maybe that. And can you imagine what could you have your body? Can you imagine having the blueprint set up so that you can actually win this weight loss battle and enjoy some time, enjoy some family, enjoy some good food, enjoy over the weekend, enjoy a drink, and not be worried so much about what the scale is doing? If you have the right blueprint, guess what? You can enjoy that. You can live the life. You can still have fun. You can still enjoy good food, but sometimes it takes getting on the right path, having the right blueprint. And if you want access to that, just send me a quick message with the word blueprint. Anyway, take care. Hope you have an amazing, blessed day. February is done. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I'm excited for what March has to come. I can't wait to share with you the new journey that people are taking, the blueprint that we're starting with a lot of new people this month. And I can't wait in a few months to share with you some of those amazing testimonies and stories. Take care. Have a blessed day. We'll see you soon.